producer on here yet?
There's a shot! They score! They score! Bernardo Fords!
At ILM, we're bigger than a welcome home hug. We're stronger than the connections we make. We're your neighbor. We're your friend.
We are your school spirit.
We are your history.
We are your biggest fans.
And we all fly.
And we all fly.
ILM.
ILM.
We are comfort, convenience, and community pride. We are more than just an airport. We are your airport.
We are ILM.
We are ILM.
We are ILM.
She was once considered the world's greatest sea weapon and went on to become one of the most highly decorated American battleships of World War II. Now moored in downtown Wilmington, she's one of the most highly decorated family attractions in North Carolina, serving a new generation as an exciting, hands-on historical adventure. Have a blast exploring the past aboard the battleship North Carolina. Adventure calls.
Looking for action, excitement, and the only professional team in town? Don't miss out on the next Wilmington Hammerheads match. Show your support at their next game. Get your season tickets or single game tickets now at WilmingtonHammerheads.com.
At ILM, we're bigger than a welcome home hug. We're stronger than the connections we make. We're your neighbor. We're your friend.
We are your school spirit.
We are your history.
We are your biggest fans.
And we all fly.
And we all fly.
ILM.
ILM.
We are comfort, convenience, and community pride. We are more than just an airport. We are your airport.
We are ILM.
We are ILM.
We are ILM.
She was once considered the world's greatest sea weapon and went on to become one of the most highly decorated American battleships of World War II. Now moored in downtown Wilmington, she's one of the most highly decorated family attractions in North Carolina, serving a new generation as an exciting, hands-on historical adventure. Have a blast exploring the past aboard the battleship North Carolina. Adventure calls.
Looking for action, excitement, and the only professional team in town? Don't miss out on the next Wilmington Hammerheads match. Show your support at their next game. Get your season tickets or single game tickets now at WilmingtonHammerheads.com.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Legion Stadium in Wilmington, North Carolina for a United Soccer League matchup with the home side, Wilmington Hammerheads FC, and the visiting Charleston Battery. I'm Chris Liebert. I'll be your host for the next several hours as we watch another heated battle between these rivals. With me in the press box tonight and overlooking Legion Stadium's turf field, Jamie Noble, once again, good to have you in the broadcast booth, partner.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Appreciate you having me, and looking forward to a great match here.
Both teams coming off of Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup games this past Wednesday. The Hammerheads being here right at home with a very decisive 6-0 win over Miami Fusion. Charleston Battery also winning and advancing in their situations. But back to this, partner, this game tonight, 3 points on the line as usual, and certainly the proximity of these teams. Charleston just about 2.5, 3 hours down the road, one of the southern opponents that these Hammerheads and this Battery team has battled many times before.
Yeah, you come into the game, you see the Hammerheads are in ninth place. They're just one spot out of the playoffs, playing a rival game at home. Surely juices are flowing, and it should be, like I said, a very entertaining match.
And on your screen, you see our starting lineup, some players to watch. Zach Prince in the midfield and Mikhail Chang also running up top. Romario Williams had a chance to talk with head coach Mark Briggs earlier in the game. He's excited, not quite disappointed in his team's performance. Certainly when you don't pick up max points in several games early in the season, it puts you down the table a little bit, and that's where we see these Hammerheads in ninth place tonight. Charleston sitting at a tie in the fourth slot, Jamie.
Yeah, there's definitely, a few games that definitely a few results that the Hammerheads would like to have back, with everything that's been going on. But, it's a long season. They're in good shape, and hopefully they can come out with a solid result tonight.
And there you see John Smits in goal for the Hammerheads. Also Liam Miller in the midfield. Justin Moose also a player to watch. And these Wilmington Hammerheads haven't quite been able to get as many points here at home as these faithfuls are used to seeing. But a beautiful night tonight. It is very warm. This is an artificial pitch, but these two teams should have always an exciting match. You see the Charleston Battery in the black, red, black attire, moving from left to right on your computer screen. And the Hammerheads in their usual all light blue strip. And we're about ready to get going here. And certainly enough, we are underway at Legion Stadium. First long ball of the game, and Peebo Dewey, a little bit of a heavy first touch, but he will be rewarded with a throw in here. And Charleston patiently, as we see Forrest Lasso around the outside back, or from the center back position, trying to move the ball early on here at Legion Stadium. A little bit of a sun problem for both sides. It's going to be in faces probably for about 30-40 minutes of this first half here. Always a problem at Legion Stadium on a bright, sunny day as we have tonight. Dewey heads out of bounds. Will be a Zach Prince restart as he lets his counterpart Quentin Griffith just at midfield. Justin Moose, very quick player running the midfield, and a turnover, but a second opportunity and yet a second turnover. So all the way back. Odisno Cooper in goal for the Battery tonight. All the way from Cuba. Crowd continuing to trickle in here. There's a massive youth tournament here in the area today. I know a lot of those teams will be coming tonight here to cheer on the pro side. A big clearance just near the Hammerheads bench there. Couple minutes early into this broadcast. United Soccer Leagues. Again, I'm Chris Liebert with Jamie Noble, along with you for the ride for this United Soccer League match, Wilmington Hammerheads and Charleston Battery. Shawnee Fairclaw with a big booming ball, and it will find John Smits outside of his protected area in his goal box, penalty area, as I should say, and another turnover there by Justin Moose. Rare series of plays there from the veteran Justin Moose.
Referee's going to pull it back for a foul here. It's probably the right decision.
And a block there as we come the other way. And we'll see another throw in. Please excuse us for losing technical audio there. And we're back here. Liam Miller going to be let off the hook there from what we thought was a sure foul. And this is going to be Townsend. First chance for the Wilmington Hammerheads, and a shot well off the mark is new addition Casey Townsend. But a little burst of energy for these Wilmington Hammerheads.
Coming off a 6-0 win midweek in the U.S. Open Cup, Hammerheads definitely, no shortage of confidence, and nice to see get an early chance there, and definitely would like to hit the target, but good to be positive early in the game.
Their first distribution from Cooper in goal. Justin Portillo leaves the ball for Griffith. Our center referee Gonzalez has some words here with some of the players. Looks as if Ricky Garbanzo having a few words with our center referee. So early minutes, 0-0 your score. And we're going to have another foul called on the Hammerheads as Mael Corbaz called for a dangerous play there. Boot high up around the head of his counterpart. Ball Ball blocked. Moose again running in the midfield. Corbuz. Miller to Dewey. Back to Miller. Wilmington still in possession as we see a big switching ball from Miller.
Great switch. Found Meacham on the far side there, streaking forward from his right back position.
Once again, that ball coming out from the sun. Very difficult for the far-sided players to see, and it could possibly be some danger on set pieces, corner kicks, or things coming from this side of the stadium. Ball high up in the air and cleared away. And back in is Bruno Peroni. Charleston in the counterattack. Smits is going to be able to come out and receive that. Runs into his own players. Shawnee Fairclaw underneath of John Smits.
It's a good job of Smits coming off his line there, taking charge of that situation. It's always easier for the goalkeeper coming forward than the center backs running backwards.
And turnover there by Peroni. Big diagonal ball out of the back. Didn't quite get underneath it. It's sometimes hard to get a true loft on the ball on this artificial turf. Here's Charleston. Ball played ahead. Romario Williams into the box. Shot going to be taken and easily saved by Schmitz. Smits waiting for his squad to move forward as his distribution well over midfield. Sean Ferguson with the clearance. Here's an opportunity there, well defended. Fairclaw takes a knock and Romario Williams Austin March, good ball, switching up through the middle.
Fairclaw's really struggling behind the play down there. Hopefully he'll be able to get up and continue.
Yeah, Wilmington should knock the ball out at this point so he can be attended to. And Gonzalez, our center referee, will call on the training staff for the Wilmington Hammerheads. Fairclaw took a knock. I think he was kind of off balance, and I don't feel that Romario Williams actually shoved him. I think he was just off balance as he cleared that ball, and he landed wrong. And you see John Smits trying to reenact. He did, of course, say that Romario Williams had a little shove. Well, here's a good picture here. Yep. Looked as if the arm was up just a little bit there, but nothing too much. Again, I think Shawnee was
just on the receiving end there. Two big, strong lads going up for it, and it looks like Shawnee just caught the worst of it there, but it looks like he's jogging off okay.
So 12th minute here, Legion Stadium in Wilmington, North Carolina. United Soccer League matchup, Charleston Battery visiting the Wilmington Hammerheads FC. 0-0 your score, and we will start again with some sportsmanship there as Charleston knocks the ball back to Smits.
And the Fairclaw's back on now, so he's able to shake it off. It's good news for Wilmington.
Yeah, I think the way he landed there, Jamie had taken the wind out of him. Here's Townsend, good reception off of his chest there. He looks to play. Miller again. Miller wearing the captain's band tonight. usually on the arm of Tom Parrott, out. Once again, he's battled several injuries this season.
Charleston looks very happy and content to kind of drop off their line of confrontation there and pick Wilmington up as soon as they cross the halfway.
Jamie, I think that might have been a kickoff decision on Tom Parrott. And he's being replaced by number 4, Michael Meacham. Miller way deep in his back line here as Peroni steps forward into the midfield. Here's Meacham, excuse me. Possession by Wilmington here and haven't really gone anywhere. See if the patience has paid off. There's another attempted ball. Bar. I can't hear. Something that you did there, I can't hear. Charleston just seeming content with letting Wilmington play in front of them. And a poorly played ball there by...
Yeah, like to have that one back. Just slightly mistimed the pass there. Couldn't get the weight of it just right.
Here's Townsend. Unable to keep possession there, and will be a goal kick for the Charleston Battery. Thoughts thus far, partner, on the game? It's kind of been a possession, just 18-18, no real chances.
Yeah, no, very even game so far. Neither team's really been dangerous. A couple of half chances maybe at best, but looks like both teams kind of trying to settle in. And they played earlier in the season. It was a tight affair all the way down to the very end of the game, where Charleston found a late winner. So not entirely a shock, but definitely hoping that we can see some more chances, scoring chances here.
Here's a little push by Wilmington, but turned over as the turf had gotten a hold of the pre-pass there, and that ball tends to do some funny things here at Legion Stadium. Anytime that you have the artificial turf and the ball spins, it just sometimes jumps away. You've seen it several times on these players, and not only training but warm up, and certainly at game speed and match speed. So
yeah, sometimes the conditions aren't favorable, and the turf plays tricks with everybody, whether you're the visitors, in this case Charleston, who aren't necessarily used to it, or the Hammerheads who train on it almost every day. So just part of the game.
Again, patience by Wilmington, and again Charleston seems to be okay with their possession.
Yeah, and that's fine. Just Wilmington just really needs to be patient, keep the ball moving, let it do the work, and look for those little gaps and creases where they can sneak in and find a runner.
Here's a ball into the box. Townsend's going to have an opportunity, and
flag up.
Flag does go up 4 offsides, but we will stay with Cooper in goal as he had possession, so nullifying any offsides infringement there. Here's Martz around the outside, very quick. And he will get a free kick, a throw-in to start play again there on that far side coming out of the sun.
Good win by Peroni, keep possession.
Here's Miller and Meekum. March still with possession. And to Peroni again. Here's Dewey. Heavy first touch, but able to settle down again. Good ball forward is Townsend. Excuse me, that's Logan Miller this evening. First time calling his name, Logan Miller, in the 14 jersey for Wilmington. Here's Moose. Ball in the box, but an array, several Charleston batteries, defenders there. And Gonzalez has a call here against Peroni. Peroni's hands up saying, "What did I do?" Nonetheless, coming back the other way, we'll restart with a free kick for Charleston.
It's a great central defender, never thinks he committed a foul.
Never guilty.
No.
Big long ball. We'll see if it stays well touched and defended there for Fairclaw. You almost want to see if that ball goes out of bounds. He's not really in immediate danger. See if he can pick up a throw in there. Attempted turn. There's a cross coming, but all the way to this near side. Quentin Griffith, another big ball. Cross offsides is going to be the decision here, and near side assistant referee, flag goes up. We have an offside. So no real shots from either side right now. A load of possession by the Wilmington Hammerheads. You can say patient offense, but certainly patient defense as well. As we said, Charleston content with keeping the ball in front, and that's Meekum. That's
Miller.
Yep. Is that? Yeah, Logan Miller actually. Liam Miller and Logan Miller, no relation, of course. We still see the sun as the shadows grow a little longer here. Again, any ball coming from the near side. Here's the ball whipped in. High clearance away from Charleston, end of the field, and we'll see a throw-in as Wilmington trying to solve the handball whistled there.
Yeah, it just sounded like he let him down a little bit. Popped up and caught him on the hand. You know, another referee maybe let that one go, but Mr. Gonzalez felt like he needed to blow the whistle.
These two teams playing earlier in the season down in Charleston. The results coming in favor of the Charleston Battery 2-1. Early goal and late goal. Almost a back-breaking, tough way to start the game, and then a back-breaking end of the game for Wilmington. I know I watched that game on YouTube.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Talking earlier about some results that haven't quite gone the Hammerheads' way, and that's probably one of them where you play on the road looking for a point and then go up a late winner is definitely demoralizing. So these are the little things that make a big difference in the standings.
Taylor Mueller having a 85th minute goal for Charleston. And a missed clearance there by Smits. Corbaz actually able to play it forward. Here's Martz. Back to Corbaz. And a big grab there coming from Odisno Cooper.
Well, actually, good service there from Corbaz. Like his first touch wasn't what he wanted. Took him away from goal, but then he did very well to get it back across and create a very dangerous chance for the Hammerheads.
Garbanzo. Nearsighted with Prince. And he turns it over just in the midfield as Peroni steps into the path and outlets out here on this near side with Dewey. And once again, patient speed for Wilmington. Here's Justin Moose on this near sideline. Townsend all the way over to Meekum. Meekum in his first year of professional play, coming from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington here, the local NCAA Division I program. It's a good flick on there, but to no run forward from Wilmington.
Yeah, the Hammerheads actually also recently picked up one of Meekum's classmates, Samuel Williams, reserve goalkeeper. So nice to have two local products, if you will, out of the university here playing for the Hammerheads.
And recently, in the last couple years, the youth system underneath the Hammerheads FC now, which is always a wonderful thing to see in the United States as youth players see their hometown professional heroes either in the pro stadium or a lot of times on the field as their coaches, and certainly the aspirations and desires as a young player. Here's a good ball forward to Miller. Logan Miller getting the last touch, unable to reward himself with any kind of a corner. So we will see another Cooper goal kick 26 minutes into this contest.
Yeah, you're talking about the player development, and it's not the norm here in the United States for a pro team to have a youth system. That's definitely what we see in Europe and your bigger clubs, and hopefully the Hammerheads have turned on to something here and they can get it right, and one day we can see some local kids from Wilmington playing first team Hammerheads.
See Austin Martz with an opportunity to head the ball. I don't know if the sun came into play there, but all by himself and a missed header to collect. But Peroni controlling out of the back for Wilmington as they find Miller. Here's Justin Moose. Well defended there, and Atala Ngara for Charleston. Here's Chang. And the offside flag goes up once again on this near side as the far side attempt pass.
Yeah, good job of being organized there by the Hammers line, and hopefully we can regain possession here and get going forward.
The Hammerheads real happy to have a Shawnee Fairclaw back after a stint with Seattle 2. And some Seattle sounder play. And here's Miller. And a bending clearance. And it's going to have a foul called on Moose there. You know, talking about a Liam Miller 4. Here's a real play before we make that comment there, and we're going to see the service by Meekum, and Moose comes up, and I don't know unless he hit him from behind or stepped on his feet, but
Yeah, I think this is one of those kind of plays that gives soccer players a bad name. Doesn't look like a ton of contact there, but definitely, you know, looking like he's making the most of it. But you know, we don't know for sure. I mean, but
here's a second look. I just didn't see much there.
Yeah, I think there's minimal contact there, but you know, hopefully Griffith will be okay.
He seems to be just fine as he's coming off. Prince having some words for his side there. Get a good look at Sean Ferguson. And Quentin Griffith will have to come off for the medical staff coming on. He'll be waved back on. Will not be too long here. And Disnell Cooper to start us back off again. Big Peroni with the header coming out of the back. And here's Miller all the way on the outside to Meekum. Tough first touch by Martz. But still in possession is Wilmington as they're trying desperately to crack the visiting Charleston battery and give these Hammerhead fans a continuation of goal scoring from last Wednesday night. 6 put in the back of the net in that U.S. Open Cup victory. And big first step by Peroni, able to keep the ball. Here's Dewey. Fair claw to Martz. Once again, possession by Wilmington.
Yeah, and again, the Hammerheads defenders have all day to play the back, but you know, having a harder time here keeping possession and making something count with all this possession that they have.
Charleston starting to counter theirs. We see the ball just a little too fast on this turf and unable to be connected. So we start again here with Dewey. Little pressure there as Romario Williams comes all the way from up top to cause interference with Liam Miller. Liam Miller probably having one of the biggest resumes on this Hammerhead side. 36-year-old from Ireland, but playing in England. Little stint with Man U.
Yeah, you know, anytime you have a player that has that type of experience, you know, in your dressing room, it definitely, you know, lends itself to being a positive influence. And
here's a replay of the foul. Yeah, and just a little shove in the back as Corbaz gets shoved out of the way, and Wilmington on attack once again. And unable to be settled there is Corbaz, and
yeah, things just breaking down again in that final third. Just things not quite as crisp and sharp as they need to be.
Here's an opportunity for Charleston getting into the box. Going to be shot taken and a good save there, Smits. And certainly our first opportunity of the game.
A great reaction saved by Smits there.
Replay here, you see Romario Williams streaking down the left side, makes a nice little cut and a shot, and Smits is there with heavy, solid hands and parrying the ball over the bar, and we'll see a Charleston corner kick here. And there's a goal unmarked there, and that's your center back for Charleston, Sean Ferguson. In the 33rd minute, we have the first goal of the game, and poor assignments there by Wilmington. Ball whipped in. Great finish there, but he's completely unmarked. Don't know whose responsibility that was, but
it looked like Peroni had him and just lost his footing, and then just a little easy flick in for the center back there, Ferguson.
So a 1-0 lead advantage here. 1-0 on the scoreboard has not made it up to our graphics there, and does as we say. 1-0 to the favor of the Charleston Battery in the 33rd minute. A goal by Sean Ferguson off a corner kick from Ricky Garbanzo. So Wilmington will have some work to do, and it seems as if the patient defense has paid off, at least thus far. You always want to, when you play a patient defense there, either get a counter or take advantage of your set pieces, and that's what we saw there on a Garbanzo corner kick. Perfectly played to the big center back, 6'5", Sean Ferguson.
Yeah, it's definitely not a goal that the Hammerheads will be happy to concede, and like you said, they got some work to do to get back in the game here.
Here's a ball whipped in and cleared out by Adate.
See if we can get a good delivery here, and maybe see if the Hammerheads can get find a goal here.
Okay, Corbaz's corner kick. We'll see if his service can find the back of the net. There's Big Peroni able to get up, but not able to keep on frame. So as the clock ticks to 35 here at Legion Stadium.
Probably not the exact delivery he's looking for. The ball kind of floated on him instead of just being a driven ball across there. It's hard to get underneath that and getting power up on your header going to goal.
So fans, get into the game on your social media through the USL's social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram for all news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the United Soccer League. Also another big sponsor of the United Soccer League, the USL. Nike is a proud partner of USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. And USLsoccer.com. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you can possibly want to know about the USL. Ball brought down in the box. Fans certainly perhaps wanted a call there, but I don't think anything was going on as close to the handball as what they wanted. A miscommunication there. Just Wilmington seems to be
just a little out of sorts, I think. You know, a lot of zigging when they should be zagging, and you know, just can't seem to get everybody on the same frequency.
So we'll see a foul, and then Head coach Mike Anhauser gets up and says something. He disagrees with this call here, as he feels that Fairclaw was holding on to Garbanzo, but Garbanzo getting called for the foul. There's Sean Ferguson with a missed clearance, and Martz unable to quite get there. Ferguson being your goal scorer a few minutes ago, not only playing on one end, but finding the back of the net on the other, as you often see your center backs and defenders getting involved in set pieces, especially corner kicks, as we did in the 33rd minute, finding the back of the net for the Charleston Battery.
Yeah, you know, those big guys in the back, they don't get a chance to score that often, so any chance they can go for it on a set piece, I love it, and definitely rewarding for Mr. Ferguson to get a goal there.
Moose able to intercept. The ball whipped across, and it's going to be last touched by Dewey, so will be a goal kick, and certainly Cooper will be in no hurry to get this ball back into play. Just an unlucky bounce there, as it
came off Dewey last there, and if we thought the Battery were being deliberate before, now that they've got a 1-0 advantage in the game, definitely look for no rush on any throw-ins, goal kicks, set pieces, anything of that nature.
There's a foul called on Guerra as Liam Miller is brought down, your captain's armband. Had an opportunity to see, we talk about community and grassroots, Liam Miller's 9-year-old son playing in the local tournament there. He's brought down, but 9 years old and scoring a couple goals today. I certainly wasn't doing the broadcast of his game earlier this morning, but good to see, these pro players and their children, as we often see in many sports, but him being part of the local club that we're talking about in the network for the youth side of the Hammerheads.
Look at the replay there, Fairclaw.
Yeah, Fairclaw being brought down, so we'll see a decent opportunity here for Wilmington. Corbaz standing, waiting. Again, he's looking into the sun. Ball coming, and on the onrushers won't have a problem. The shadows almost covering the whole entire field. Only a couple more minutes before the sun will not affect the play. But we await Corbaz. Ball whipped in. And to no avail, but not out of danger yet. Here's Meekum all the way from the right defender position. And a shot going to be taken, and just wide is Martz. A good hit, and that ball's bending away. Certainly, I don't know if Cooper would have had a chance, but that ball rising and nearly hitting the right corner. Nah, it's a little bit farther off that I see now. A little bit checking the replay there, Jamie. And
yeah, Martz will definitely wish he had that opportunity back, because the touch just kind of got away from him a little bit there. But better from the Hammerheads. He's been lively, Martz. Going forward, like I said earlier, he's very pacey. He's been involved in a lot of the, opportunities going to goal for the Hammerheads. So he's looked dangerous down that right side.
Very deceiving in his body when you look at a Martz. He's not the tallest individual, and he's stocky, I guess is the word. But
compact,
boy, compact, like a fire hydrant. But when he gets going, he's probably one of the quicker, faster players on the field. Certainly becoming very dangerous getting around the outside, and we see a good defensive play there by Dewey.
Yeah, and back to Martz too. It looks like he has a motor that just doesn't stop. He'll chase everything down, and here he goes. And right now, as a coach, you love to have players like that in your side that just will give you 110%, 110% of the time. So.
And O'Disnell just plays the ball out safely, and we have 2 balls on the field actually right now. And quickly cleared by Martz. Good touch on this near side is Moose. Big high clearances. Quentin Griffith, as the fans get a little excited as the ball comes near them, they want their chance to play.
Yeah. Time to show off their skills here.
So only a couple minutes left in this first half. We'll probably see 2-3 minutes of added time. We've had two or three stoppages for injury and a goal. That goal coming in the 33rd minute as Sean Ferguson, the central defender for Charleston, finding the back of the net off a Ricky Garbanzo corner kick. So that's what brings us here for your 1-0 score as Wilmington looking to add to the scores books this evening. That's a big turnover there by Martz, and lucky that Fairclaw and Peroni were home there. Could have been a disaster turnover when.
Yeah, Williams is the leading scorer for Charleston coming in on the season with 6 goals, and it's definitely looked dangerous tonight in a couple of chances. So, as you said, good job by the center back staying home there and knowing where he's at.
Certainly a character you do not want to let run on you is Romario Williams. Is headed away by Fairclaw. Here's Miller.
And this midfield three of the Hammerheads has been very involved in the game. Logan and Liam Miller and Corbaz in there as well. Just a little lacking in that final ball, that decisive ball in the final third to make something happen. And here we go.
Shot going to be taken. Is there a deflection? And no, it's not. It looked as if the ball had been deflected high and up and away, but
yeah, I think we'll see on the replay here. It may have just been another case of that turf monster. The ball just popped up on Logan Miller.
Yeah. Logan Miller not only missing the frame, but almost missing the baseball field behind the soccer field here at Legion.
As my man says in Major League, just a bit outside.
A very bit outside there, as Logan Miller certainly would like to have that one. So we'll wait for the 4th official here as the clock on the brand new scoreboard at Jurgensen Gabriel Field here at Legion Stadium in Wilmington, North Carolina. I do believe that this...
Yeah, very legible. We worked the game earlier this year. We, 3 o'clock start and had a hard time seeing the bulbs on the old scoreboard. So very easy and to see this one here.
Well, as I said, I think there's a graphic component that hasn't been in use yet here. Just this board being installed just recently.
Yeah, just this week, if I understood correctly.
That is correct there. And I did see the 4th official on the far side. Once again, there's here at Legion, just like last season, some mid-season, the Digiboard seems to disappear, and fans, we don't know on what he has told both benches. I know he signaled over to Mark Briggs and also Mike Anhauser for the additional time. So again, if I was a betting man or been around the sport for a while, I would guesstimate about a 3-minute adage there. And not even that. But so that's your whistle for the first half of this United Soccer League matchup with the visiting Charleston Battery on top 1-0 over the Wilmington Hammerheads, the home side. There's a good look at the brand new scoreboard we're talking about. No graphics in play yet, but 1-0 after 45 here at Legion Stadium. We will be back to recap the first half, start you off on the second half. I don't think we're done yet, partner, here. I think we'll see some more goals this evening, but a good start to this match this evening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining us on Hammerheads FC TV.
At ILM, we're bigger. At ILM, we're bigger than a welcome home hug. We're stronger. At ILM, we're bigger than a welcome home hug. We're stronger than the connections we make. We're your neighbor. We're your friend.
We are your school spirit.
We are your history.
We are your biggest fans.
And we all fly
And we all fly
ILM.
ILM.
We are comfort, convenience, and community pride. We are more than just an airport. We are your airport.
We are ILM.
We are ILM.
We are ILM.
She was once considered the world's greatest sea weapon and went on to become one of the most highly decorated American battleships of World War II. Now moored in downtown Wilmington, she's one of the most highly decorated family attractions in North Carolina, serving a new generation as an exciting, hands-on historical adventure. Have a blast exploring the past aboard the battleship North Carolina. Adventure calls.
Looking for action, excitement, and the only professional team in town? Don't miss out on the next Wilmington Hammerheads match. Show your support at their next game. Get your season tickets or single game tickets now at WilmingtonHammerheads.com.
And another halftime interview with head coach of the Wilmington Hammerheads FC, Mark Briggs. Mark, another week of practice and business. Tell us a little bit what's new this week as we go further into the season.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different week. Obviously, we had the Open Cup game Wednesday night, so it's been all about Thursday and Friday, resting and make sure the players are healthy and recover in time for tonight's 90 minutes.
How much of a distraction is a U.S. Open Cup game taking you off, knowing important that you want to go deep in the U.S. Open Cup? How does any distractions at all going into continued league play?
No, I think, you have to be, as a professional player, you have to be focused on no matter what game you're coming up with, whether it's an Open Cup game or whether it's a league game like tonight. Obviously, we want to do well in both competitions, and that's why we brought in the players that we have, and I'm happy with the depth that we have in our squad.
Yeah, the players have been influxed all year, in and out, and you've had some good additions late, not too late in the season, but certainly recently. Can you talk a little bit about what kind of new life has been brought in, especially in the sorts of a Casey Townsend?
Yeah, we've obviously brought Casey Townsend in, who's from Oklahoma, and he's been a breath of fresh air for us. He's sharp, he's good in front of goal, and he just brings a movement to our front line that's going to only improve us.
Yeah, certainly in any part of soccer, you know that scoring a goal or two, it gives you momentum going into other games. Talk a little bit about the energy of scoring 6 goals in that game this past Wednesday, knowing it wasn't quite the level of the USL, but certainly being a part of the tournament of the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, and as I said to the players, it was a 6-0 result, which was fantastic, and to beat a team 6-0, no matter what level they're playing at, it's no mean feat. So hopefully they'll bring that energy, they'll bring that buzz from Wednesday night's game into today's game, and hopefully they can be just as lethal in front of goal as we were on Wednesday.
Well, we've certainly talked on how well I feel that you're doing, and also the buzz that's been brought to the Wilmington Hammerheads. I know that the stress has not eased up at all, but one of the things I told Jason Arnold and everything, I was going to get a smile out of you tonight. So, you're doing a good job. Tell a little bit on how it's been. I mean, I know it's been a whirlwind, and just there's no rest, but.
Like you say, that's probably the best way to describe it. It's a whirlwind. But it's a whirlwind that I'm thoroughly enjoying, and it's a whirlwind that hopefully I can continue to do for many years. I'm proud to be the Hammerheads coach, and I'm proud to have brought in the players that I have. And I'm enjoying working with the team on a day-to-day basis, and enjoying the details that you don't necessarily realise as a player you have to put in, but as a coach you certainly have to put in, and every detail counts.
That's good. Well, certainly more smiles to come, especially from head coach Mark Briggs. I'm Chris Liebert. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score!
At ILM, we're bigger than a welcome home hug. We're stronger than the connections we make. We're your neighbor. We're your friend.
We are your school spirit.
We are your history.
We are your biggest fans.
And we all fly
And we all fly
ILM.
ILM.
We are comfort, convenience, and community pride. We are more than just an airport. We are your airport.
We are ILM.
We are ILM.
We are ILM.
She was once considered the world's greatest sea weapon and went on to become one of the most highly decorated American battleships of World War II. Now moored in downtown Wilmington, she's one of the most highly decorated family attractions in North Carolina, serving a new generation as an exciting, hands-on historical adventure. Have a blast exploring the past aboard the Battleship North Carolina. Adventure calls.
Looking for action, excitement, and the only professional team in town? Don't miss out on the next Wilmington Hammerheads match. Show your support at their next game. Get your season tickets or single game tickets now at WilmingtonHammerheads.com.
And always on Hammerhead FC TV, we like to do a player interview. With me tonight is defense Mo Kaba. Mo, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, boss. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Absolutely wonderful to have you on the show. Halftime show here. I know it's been a little frustrating for you in your first year with the Hammerheads coming off an injury. Tell us a little bit about how you've been accustomed to your first year of the league on the sideline.
I mean, it's not what I've expected, coming in and getting hurt in preseason, but it's definitely been very good. The guys, they help me out. I learn a lot. I still come and observe in training, I'm getting experience on the sideline. It's different experience, but it's still a very good experience. Therapy is going well. The staff treats me well, so I'm just ready to get back and work hard for the team.
How does your role come into play now? I mean, you certainly need to do your own work to get back rehab-wise, but do you feel that more you can help Coach Mark Briggs and be a player, basically not cheerleader to put it that way, but to help your teammates because you know that they're battling on the pitch?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm working hard. I got to work even harder when I get back, but I'm going to find my way in the lineup one way or another, so it's going to be a fun return.
Good, and it certainly the league has reached a level. Is it what you expected coming from the college game? Again, you're fresh out of the University of South Carolina. Is it the level that you thought that this USL league would be?
Yeah, it's physical. I heard that it was going to be physical. South Carolina, they got me ready for this on the pitch and in life, so I was ready for this coming in.
Good. Talk about a little bit about the locker room. How are the guys feeling, knowing that you haven't picked up quite as many points as you'd like, being 8 games into the season? Talk a little bit about the demeanor of the players and the attitude and the efforts.
The guys, we have great leaders, starting with Tom, Liam, Moose, those older guys. They lead by example. We know we have to win tonight. We're not where we want to be right now in the league, but starting strong is good, but finishing strong is better, So starting tonight, we can win the next 3 games. Coach already told us are very important for us because it can take us back right where we want to be in the swing of things. And in the middle of that, we have Miami FC in a few weeks. So starting with tonight, we know we have to get 3 points. Nothing less than 3 points is acceptable. So the guys are focused and ready to go.
Good. Well, we enjoyed having you. Best of luck in your
Thank you very
recovery.
Much,
again, thanks for joining us in our player interview. I'm Chris Liebert for Hammerhead FC TV.
Thank you.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
At ILM.
And welcome back to Legion Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, for the United Soccer League. Charleston Battery and Wilmington Hammerhead matchup 1-0 Charleston. We've got some clips of the first half. There's a big snag. Odisno Cooper and a shot just prior to the goal in the 33rd minute. Here's the Rick Garbanzo corner kick. On the other end is Sean Ferguson, and here's another look, uncontested. Almost backheeled that in, Jamie.
Yeah, just a little side of the foot flick there. Again, not very good defending. Perennial know he can do better than that.
So there we are. Here's an opportunity.
Yeah, from Martins right there just before the end of the half. Ball just kind of ran away from him and couldn't quite get the connection he wanted.
So it brings us to our score as we are getting ready to start the second half. 1-0 in favor of the Charleston Battery on a beautiful night here in Legion Stadium, Wilmington, North Carolina. Again, I'm Chris Liebert, with me Jamie Noble. And there's a good look as our refereeing crew take the field. We will switch ends and go at it for another 45. Relatively quiet first half. Possessions maybe in favor of Wilmington, probably 60-40 around that area, but yeah, the patience paid off by Charleston getting a free kick or from a set piece, a goal off a set piece in the 33rd minute.
Yeah, no, I think the guys in the truck did a great job of putting all the scoring chances together in that little highlight package. And like you said, a lot of play from 18 to 18. Neither team really that sharp, and we saw several bad giveaways. So, you know, we're hoping now that the sun and the shadows aren't an issue, maybe both teams can settle down and play a better second half here.
Well, certainly the first half, the shadows and the sun made it difficult. I know up in our booth here we had some glare and on the telescreen, so hopefully that's all done with. And again, we await the Guido Gonzalez whistle, our center referee, as we start the second half. Again, Wilmington Hammerheads FC in an all light blue pitch, or set, I should say, or strip. And they'll be moving from left to right on your computer screen. And the Charleston Battery in a red and black jersey, black shorts, and the black socks, moving from right to left on your computer screen or your television or however you're watching our broadcast or listening tonight. Again, we thank you for joining Wilmington Hammerheads FC TV.
As we get going here in the second half, you know, Charleston will be looking to hold on to this 1-0 as long as they can, so they can sneak a second one in there. And Wilmington definitely will have to come out and play and try to find an equalizer and hopefully a game winner as well.
We didn't get a chance to talk about the table earlier in the evening. Again, a late addition to the broadcast. We jumped right in at the singing of the national anthem in the start of the game. But Louisville City FC at top of the table in the Eastern Conference of the USL with 17 points. Actually a three-way tie with FC Cincinnati, Charlotte Independence as well with 17. But Louisville City holding one game in the hand. And Charleston Battery sitting in a tie for that fourth spot with New York Red Bulls 2, and Wilmington down in the ninth spot with a 2-3-3 record with 9 points. So we're underway again here, second half, as Gonzalez starts our whistle off, and Wilmington trying to equalize.
Yeah, Chris, you talk about the table, and look at some of the teams that are in front of Wilmington. Cincinnati, who they picked up a point. Wilmington picked a point up on the road in a very hostile environment with a draw, and then Charlotte Independence, the Hammerheads, also tied. So they've proven they can play with the top teams in the league, and it just makes tonight's game even more crucial to try to come out and find the 3 points as we get another high boot there.
We have a foul whistled as we are fresh into and it looks as if the stadium board is being reset, but the clock is right on our screen. So again, just starting 1 minute into the first half. Crowd seems to still be coming in. Again, there's a very large soccer tournament, youth soccer tournament in the area, and I know a lot of the teams, part of the deal was to come and see this game tonight, and an absolute beautiful night. Had a lot of rain over the last couple days, but cleared up. It was raining this morning, but cleared up, but we are on an artificial turf. So barring any lightning, usually the games are played here at Legion. There's a good flick on, but intercepted by Adate. I do believe an offsides flag goes up from the far side. And Smits will start us back off again.
Yeah, the number 10 shirt there, Garrett, just a little lazy, not getting back on side after he pushed forward.
And Justin Moose. Ball goes out of bounds. He runs out of real estate on that far side. And here's a Shawnee Fairclaw with Michael Meekum. On the outside, Martz likes to run. He plays forward to Towson. Patient here, back to Meek.
Yeah, and you see Miller there sitting again in that deep number 6 role, just kind of the maestro pulling the strings. He's done a good job, distribution, spraying the ball from side to side. And like I said, the Hammerheads just got to find that last final ball. See if they can't put one in the back of the net.
Big strong tackle on that far side by Zach Prince, and ball whipped across. Townsend's going to have a shot and just wide of the post there. I'm sorry, that's actually Miller. Logan Miller with a left-footed boot just the opposite way of O'Disnell Cooper. We'll see a replay here. Ball comes in. Peebo with the side, a left-footed crack, and
yeah, Miller just lost his defender there and just snatched onto it, and unfortunately he's just not quite accurate. But a good early ball from Peebo there.
Well, certainly had O'Disnell Cooper beat, and that would have brought us to an equal score at 1. Stadium lights are on now here at Legion as the shadows have completely covered and the sun is setting behind us here now in the press box at Legion Stadium, or the telebooth, I should say. We've upped things here. Here's Justin Moose.
Ooh.
Kind of sidesteps and plays a ball across, and his miscommunicated pass gets cleared away by the Charleston Battery defense.
Yeah, it almost looked like Moose faked himself out there for a second, just kind of lift the ball behind, but in the end it worked out, and then the ball just kind of his pass kind of got away from him there, and we got a little.
Yeah, here's Miller and Guerra tied up together, and they're going to call both players off, or over, I should say, not off. These guys will just have a talking to, as you see Guerra. It's a good replay there. Ooh, Miller comes in, grabs, and there's a little shot. And
yeah, Guerra kind of takes exception to Miller climbing over his back there.
Yeah, he says, what did I do? I just stood still there and had a foul. He still has his arms behind him as Guerra.
Yep. Good piece of defending by or officiating there by Mr. Gonzalez there. Just kind of pull both players aside and just talk them through it, and cooler heads prevail, and I'll win the game here.
That's it. Liam Miller just wanting to find a different way to get up and around. It can't go through.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating night, so sometimes you have to try things that are a little unconventional, I guess, and almost worked out there for Liam Miller.
A way to throw in here by Michael Chang. Back to Chang and off of Miller. In the corner here is Williams. And still stuck in this near side.
Yeah, it's well done by the Hammers there, just to be disciplined in their defense and not give up a corner, and not want to throw in deep in their own end here.
So Michael Meekum for the Hammerheads will try to get out of this corner here. Townsend, several headers with Townsend and Guerra. And here's Fairclaw with his attempt at heading the ball, and not out of danger yet as Williams sneaks around and is brought down, but play on, says the referee. Chang into the box. Shot going to be taken by Garbanzo, and a corner kick will be awarded to Charleston. Fairclaw having a little look and a little discussion here with Gonzalez, our referee, pleading his case for something. What that is, I don't know exactly what.
Yeah, not tough to tell there from the replay, but a better job of being organized here, defending the set piece by the Hammerheads.
An early ball played out by Justin Moose, and Martz is on the run, and a good flicking ball up, but well defended as Quentin Griffith is home for Charleston, able to deny any fast break or retaliation. Counterattack by Wilmington. And the offside flag stays down, but Michael Chang able to gain possession. Here's a big overlapping run on the outside and slowed down as we see Zach Prince trying to find Williams up top. So Wilmington trying to desperately pick up home points, any points. Certainly in a situation where this club needs 3 points, have picked up 3 times a tie, or a draw I should say, only getting the 1 point out of the contest. A little too much dribbling is March, but
yeah, and we're not quite to the halfway point in the season, so you don't want to say anything's a must-win game. But this is definitely a game that the Hammerheads would want to get 3 points out of, playing at home, playing a regional rival against a team that they kind of got on the short end of the stick against earlier this year. So feeling like they're owed a little bit of payback there.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there as we see a replay coming for ball played back, but there's the quick efforts.
Yeah, and again, I think the energy and the effort and the enthusiasm has been there tonight for the Hammerheads. It's just a little lacking in the quality of the performance. In the first half, like we said, kind of a little disjointed, and at times look very sharp when they're playing through the midfield, and other times kind of just bypass the midfield and kind of breaks down and doesn't look as appealing. But see if they can put it together here over the last 35 minutes or so.
Meekum and Townsend connecting here to see what can go forward with Wilmington, and ball finally out to Dewey. Ball whipped in, but nobody home, and very poor. Did take a deflection, yes. So we will see a Wilmington Hammerhead FC corner kick in the 55th minute.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction. I was like, wow, that was a very, very poor ball, but then the referee was pointing over, so we're a long way away from the play here.
We'll see Corbaz. Wait to see Peroni. Ball whipped in. It's going to go over Peroni. Headed back across and finally cleared out, and will be another corner kick as Zach Prince heads the ball over the end line. And we'll see another corner kick from the opposite side here that we just did as Corbaz makes his way across. This will be an out swinging corner. As again, we're waiting in a little discussion between Gonzalez, and it looks as if Odisnell Cooper having something to say. He doesn't like, I think that's Meekum there, causing some. Ball going to be just wide there as a big outstretching leg of Bruno Peroni, unable to find that far panel of the goal, but a heck of an opportunity for Wilmington. And
yeah, almost able to redirect that one in there on a ball that kind of like he was the only one that went in and attacked it. Everybody else just kind of fell asleep. We'll get another look here.
You'll see on this far side, big run and a big outstretch, and just did well to get a touch on it. And
yeah, just a kind of another microcosm of the Hammerheads night. Just close but no cigar.
Shawnee Fairclaw home to stop the counterattack of Charleston, and it's going to be a foul called on Williams there. He'll have a little talking to, but no major intent there. Just an accident.
It's defending like a forward, that's all.
That's right. Bring him down at all costs, but again, the referee's reaction wasn't as strong, and just knowing it was an accident. So Corbaz here in the midfield trying to move his Hammerheads forward. Outside, Martz. Martz likes to run with it, and Miller in the middle. Our captain's band wearer tonight, I should say.
Yeah, even if you know he's new to the side, he's arguably the most experienced player in that dressing room, so kind of a no-brainer there.
Ball not quite able to reach Towson up top, but not cleared out of trouble yet. And here's a good ball. Ball shot going to be taken. No deflection, so will be a goal kick for Cooper and his Charleston battery. Again, not really in any hurry. We might have had a substitution at halftime.
Looks like number 19.
Mashad. Jeff Mashad, number 19, getting a run at the forward. I do believe that was a, trying to see if Logan Miller has been replaced. No, Miller's still on the field. Who was
Moose, I think.
Yeah, Justin Moose for the Wilmington Hammerheads. Looks as if he's been replaced. I didn't see that substitution.
No, I didn't either, and you know, not entirely surprising because Moose has really worked hard out there tonight on that left flank.
So another corner kick is almost 3 in a row, and is as many minutes. When the crowd gets going with some ringing of cowbells.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the fans here have a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
That's it. And here's going to be a counterattack. It's going to be a 2-on-1. They've got Williams on the outside, and ball player taken down from behind. Feels that he got a ball, and Ricky Garbanza didn't like this. Well, it's a retaliation by Garbanza. He didn't like being pulled down. We'll see a yellow card perhaps for the tackle from behind. I do believe that's, here's a look here. Garbanza, that's
yeah, Misha working
Mashad,
really hard to track him down.
Well, he feels he got a ball, he got up. Garbanza doesn't like this and comes straight. There's nothing really there. If he had come high on his head, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tactical foul. He's stopping the counterattack, but he had no intent to hurt the player there. So caution in the 60th minute for Mishad. And then, yeah, probably a little bit of overreaction from Garbanzo.
Yep, I don't think Garbanzo picked up one here, but definitely Jeff Mashad in the 60th minute. Yellow card caution issued to him, but he did get some instruction from Gonzalez there to cut it out.
Right. And, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst yellow card in the world to pick up. Gives your team a chance to get back and get organized and defend a set piece rather than being hold on the counter.
Well, you had Williams on an absolute gangbuster of a run on the outside. If that ball was slipped through any earlier, could have been trouble for John Smits and his Wilmington Hammerheads. Smits looking and seeing that run coming at him, and really a saving tackle there by Mashad, and as you said, a good yellow card, caution picked up. But we have a corner kick here as Michael Chang for Charleston plays a ball in and cleared, and it's going to be a shot taken and well over, hitting the locker room building behind as it.
It's a bit ambitious, if I'm being honest, but you know, you like seeing that out of your players, not afraid to step up and strike one.
Adate fixing his boot, and
that must have been the problem. It had to be the shoes.
Smith's goal kick. 61st minute here.
Yeah, looks like on the far side, the Hammerheads are preparing another change. It's like Barnes Homer's getting his jersey on over there. So it'll be a matter if the Hammerheads will decide to play with a second striker or take off a central midfielder or defender maybe, or just if it'll be a light-for-light switch with Townsend.
And a foul right here in front of the Hammerheads. That's the second time, too, that Mark Briggs is signaling there. Briggs feeling that his player had inside position and brought down. Things getting a little chippy here. Yeah. Gonzalez has his work cut out dealing with some of the chips and clips and then retaliations coming at it. So certainly not wanting to be in that.
It looks like Gorbanzo just picked up a caution there. Had to have said something to the referee after he'd just been talked to and warned. So not very intelligent on his part when the referees let you off the hook one time.
So Gorbanzo in the 63rd minute picking up a yellow card caution. And we'll see if Williams can reach it, and doesn't quite get to Smits. Kind of a no man's land, a big flick on there. Towson able to turn. Can't really complete the counter in a quick fashion, so.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the Hammers, you know, kind of pushing forward there and just a little.
It's a big long ball, very good ball to the far side, and turned over as Zach Prince is able to cut off any threat from Wilmington, and
we'll see that change now.
And as the bright sun on one side of the stadium has gone down, looks as a full moon coming up over the grandstand on the far side, the bench side of Legion Stadium. And here we have a substitution. I do believe Cudis Lawal coming in. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Matthew Barnes Homer, the number 9 jersey for Wilmington.
Replacing Townsend. It was like Townsend just kind of ran himself into the ground. You know, he worked extremely hard tonight for the team, but you know, at the end of the day, he didn't have as much service probably as he would like, but he didn't let that affect his energy, and we'll see if Mr. Barnes Homer can come on and find a goal here for the Hammerheads.
Barnes Homer, the Dudley, England product, coming in to try to help his Wilmington side equalize at this point. All the way over here to Meekum.
Yeah, not a lot of movement off the ball though for the Hammerheads. Even though they have time and space to play, the work rate off the ball is not where it needs to be right now.
It's almost that lulling, patient offense that we saw so much in the first half, and there's a miss
hit there. Miss
hit on the far side. That's Pibo Dewey.
Yeah, he served some good balls in. That was not one of them, unfortunately.
There's a shot of the full moon over there.
Yep.
Absolute beautiful night. No wind for probably upper 70 temperature. A little humid today with a lot of rain clearing here on the east coast of southeastern coast of North Carolina.
Well, these are what they call postcard conditions. This is why people live in Wilmington. We get a beautiful evening like this.
Certainly the early, see a foul there on Meekum.
It's not necessarily an area you want to give up a free kick in, but quick restart here. Garrett just wildly snatches at that one. Got a replay.
Yeah, it's a foul there on Ashani Fairclaw. Williams is brought down.
Hammerheads dodge a bullet there. Unfortunately, Charleston not able to take advantage of that set piece.
And here's Smits to start us off again. Battle at midfield won by Charleston. Barnes Homer unable to bring the ball down, and we're going to see if
Hammerheads have made their third change there. Cudis Lawal.
Yeah, Lawal. Yeah, he's just entered the game, and he's picked up a yellow card caution in the 67th minute. So 3 yellow cards, and that actually is Barnes Homer. Did Barnes Homer pick it up?
Good look on the replay here. No, Lawal there just a little late coming across catching Ferguson.
So Lawal coming in. Don't know how we've missed those substitutions, man.
Yeah, I think we're sleeping on the wheel over here, Chris. But you know, you want your players to make an impact in the game, and Lawal just trying hard there. Just like I said, a little late on the tackle.
Well, I think what it is again that digiboard is not being utilized by that 4th official over there, and haven't been able to see the red numbers of players coming off or the green numbers coming in, so they kind of leave it to our knowledge of, hey, wait a minute, that guy wasn't in.
Exactly.
Hadn't seen that number there, and here's going to be another foul called. And just late hits coming in, and we'll see if this actually
it's tough there.
Peebo Dewey coming in from behind. It's not late. He's contesting, but it is from behind. But
yeah, both players, you know, with eyes on the ball only. So, you know, I think it's one of those things that maybe the referee could let go, but you know, he blew it. So game on. Looks like Charleston's ready in a sub over there as well.
Substitution coming on again.
Another yellow card.
Who's that issue 2? I can't see it from this side here. We'll wait. See if our.
So we got a replay there. Looked like he was delaying the restart, maybe.
Usually the PA announcer, I don't think they're getting any kind of communication. There's the digiboard. Finally, it's been found, Jamie.
Hey, man.
I had asked him at halftime when time had not been put up for the first half, but finally it's being used. And 17 coming off, which is Garbanzo.
And this is probably a good sub by Coach Anheuser over there. You know, Garbanzo's on a caution. Has been involved in a couple of chippy exchanges, and the last thing that Charleston wants to do is go down a man right now in the last 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Dante Marini, sorry to cut you off there, partner. Dante Marini coming in to replace him. But you're right, getting him out when he's been sitting on a yellow and he's been in a couple situations already is a good move by Mike Anheuser, the head coach of the Charleston Battery. But there is the infamous digiboard. We finally have it, and we can... As soon as we saw the numbers, the substitutions was there.
Better late than never.
People don't realize that every little bit helps for us up here in the broadcast booth. some 100 yards away at certain points of the stadium. So,
and you know, as a former referee, my eyesight's not very good anyway. So,
I think that you just had a comment on any referee's eyesight being. No, I'm teasing. It's a very difficult job. I know I certainly wouldn't want to be in most situations of the center referee. So, about 20 minutes left in this contest. Charleston Battery holding on to a 1-0 lead in this United Soccer League match on a beautiful week before Memorial Day weekend. These two teams meeting in April with a 2-1 result in favor of the Charleston Battery in Charleston. Goals coming late in that game. Our goal tonight coming in the 33rd minute. Again, Sean Ferguson, central defender for Charleston, finding the back of the net. And another substitution coming off for, I do believe, Romario Williams, the number 9 jersey coming off. And entering the game, Javier Cordovez. So Williams' night is done.
yeah, he definitely gave him a good shift up front tonight for Charleston. You know, worked hard, looked dangerous, kept the pressure on the Hammerhead center backs there. So his job's done. It'll be sad he didn't score a goal, but you know, he's worked hard, extremely hard for the team tonight.
And a little touch there on that far side is Lawal. And certainly Charleston in no rush to move things along here. And if things stand tonight, this will, depending on other results, I know that I think Louisville and Richmond were playing tonight, but this could move Battery up as far as points are concerned into the first place spot. But again, some other games being played: Charlotte Independence, Cincinnati, Louisville, all playing.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't matter what league you're playing in. Anytime you could take 3 points on the road and get a huge road win, you take it. And that's exactly what Charleston's looking at. They're about 18 minutes away, or 18 minutes plus stoppage time from securing that. So, as you were saying, definitely don't look for them to be in any hurry on any restarts here, trying to milk every second off that clock.
I'm going to go ahead and put it out there right now of 3 minutes of added time on, even though we're good time away. I'm just...
Yeah, we've seen, I think, at least 5 substitutions, if my math's right.
Some cards, no real injury.
I'm going to take the over. I'm going to say more than 3 minutes.
Okay.
Both teams looking a little ragged here late in the game. Got some tired legs out there.
This is Chang trying to turn the corner, and a ball played back. Schmitz being able to.
Yeah, just a little skill check there for your goalkeeper, making sure he's staying awake. And you know, I know he's going for a goal tonight, but Schmitz has done very well back there. The goal was not his fault at all. You know, and a few times that I've seen him play in person, I think he's done very well for the Hammerheads all season.
An attempt of a service by Lawal on that far side. And we'll take this chance to, again, talk about social media by getting into the game through the USL's social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights. Here's a yellow card coming the opposite way. Seems an abundance to Wilmington thus far, and there's a yellow card. I do believe that's going to Guerra.
Just a professional foul there. Just grabbed a handful of the jersey to stop the Hammerheads player from going forward here.
So Corbaz, the taker of most free. Oh, no, actually, yeah, it's
20.
Yeah, it's Portillo.
Yeah, Mishad, like he's getting ready to get away from him.
And ball into the box, cleared away, and Little foot race on that far side is Marks. And all the way back to Smits. Patience again by Wilmington, but they're going to need to see the pace of this game pick up if they're going to try to equalize in any way. Perhaps play some players forward. This is Cutis Lawal on the near side. And good job to move, and there's a high clearance. And
yeah, good feed initially, and then the ball just the service just a little overcooked there.
Yeah, stays in bounds, and there will be a free kick for Dewey as he's rewarded for his efforts on that far sideline. And we'll see Corbaz again with, and there's a foul and a grab. And
yeah, Dewey's been very active down there from his left back spot tonight, and does a good job there to use his body and shield the ball and win a free kick from a dangerous spot for the Hammerheads.
So a lot of grabbing, a lot of energy and activity going on in this box here as Wilmington pushes most everyone forward, as they should at this point, with really only 15 minutes or so left in this contest.
Yeah, really need a good delivery here.
A good whipping ball, and it's going to be tossed in, and a good hit there is Odenzel Cooper.
His brave goalkeeping, very well done.
Punches out, ball across on the foot of Dewey, but unable to make any kind of a conscious effort, and there's a foot race. And this is going to possibly be trouble for, and as referees going to the back pocket, this can't be good. And sure enough, and you're going to see Mark Briggs go nuts here. I don't think that it was, I think they were tangled up together, and it just happens that the Charleston Battery player went down. Here's the whole sequence coming, and needless to say, Liam, here's the big punch away. This is actually back to action here. That's the foul. A couple replays out of sorts. Here's again another punch. Still not what we need to see. But Liam Miller's night is going to be done, as he's going to be. Here's the foul here. Oh, that's actually, he actually touches the ball. The player comes through. I don't know, Jamie. I just can't tell really from that angle, but it doesn't look as if he grabbed him. It didn't look, it almost looked like the Charleston Battery player, and I didn't see who it was, ran into him and went down, and that's why Mark Briggs is just beside himself on that far side. But the Wilmington Hammerheads are going to be having to try to equalize this thing down a man here in the latter part of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task now. I mean, the referee clearly felt like Miller was denying a goal scoring opportunity by a foul, but you know, I think you can make a case that they were awfully far away from goal for it to be clearly a goal scoring opportunity there. But you know, he didn't hesitate, went straight to the back pocket.
Yeah, but you know, it's almost, I hate to see that. I hate to see that for any player. I'd be saying the same thing for Charleston. I don't think that player deserves to go on that case there. And there's a good save, a good shot. It's Cordovez and Smits bailing his team out. So there's Cordovez. Ball centered in by Marini, and there's Cordovez and a good reaction save. Cordovez doing a great job to keep the ball on the framework as Smits gets his big gloves and pushes the ball side of the post, and Portillo walking over to the ball. So again, back to that red card. It's unfortunate for Liam Miller. I don't necessarily believe he was deserving in that situation.
Yeah, you know, you definitely hate to see that for any player. You know, you have these moments in the game that can really, you know, alter the course of the game. And, you know, unfortunately, the referee felt like the send-off was justified. And, like I said, the Hammerheads will now be playing down a man for the rest of the 11 minutes here.
Yeah, and Hackshaw is going to be coming in to cause some presence there as Zach Prince's night is done. He's been relieved of duty here in the 80th minute.
Just a look at that snap header.
Yeah, he comes in right off the bench, and Hackshaw doing a good job to get immediately involved.
Yeah, I know. Again, anytime you're a substitute, you want to come in and try to impact the game, and almost scored a goal. Well, surely would have given his team 3 points at this point.
It's a foul from behind, but play on, says the referee, and he's going to call the handball there. And Mark Briggs just has to be beside himself. I mean, that's the same kind of fouls that were called earlier and actually carded, yellow card caution on the Wilmington Hammerheads, and I just see the frustration.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating night for the Hammerheads, as we said, with their play, and now a couple of the decisions from the referee not going their way. But it'd be important to try to maintain their composure here to see if they can snatch a goal here late.
Yeah, I mean,
that's easier said than done.
Yeah, it's just the same, again, we're 50, 60 yards away, but it's the same fouls that have been happening. And again, I would be commenting on the same thing for the Charleston side if it was tables were turned there. And it's just frustrating when a referee does get involved and doesn't stay consistent on what have you, and then they turn around and he makes the call up for the handball there. But
yeah, I think as fans and players and coaches and everybody involved in the game, you want the players to decide the game, and you don't want to feel like the referee. You don't even want to notice the referee when they're out there. But like we said earlier, it's a tough job, and that's why they get paid the big bucks.
And there's a foul from behind, and that's certainly a frustration foul by Peroni, but he's pointing to the spot of the same foul that was in the mid-circle, and
that was a no call on the other end.
Yeah, absolutely. You almost don't blame the young man, and anyhow, not our position to do.
It'd be very important that Hammerheads switch on here and defend this set piece.
Oh, very nifty turn.
Good feet.
And
good recovery there by Fairclough.
Guerra looks as if he wanted a penalty kick there, and a good cover by Schmitz. And that absolutely, if a penalty had been awarded there, it would have brought the house down. I do believe Mark Briggs wouldn't be wanting to stay around for the final 10 minutes of this contest either. And
it might have been an early shower.
Ball going to be whipped across, but again, not out of any.
Yeah, not dealt with as concisely as you'd like there.
That's a handball there, no call. Play on, possibly, says the referee, but no job or no sign from the referee, as if he wouldn't have called it. There was no play on there, which is another frustrating thing as a player. Here's quick march to turn the corner. I don't think the referee saw it or made a decision in any of that area.
Yeah, I think he was screened on the play because, clearly it looked like it struck a player in the hand.
Whether, you award Schmitz out of his comfort zone, certainly there, and well played and kept in by Lawal. Good run, but a heavy touch. Still in play and not out of trouble yet. Ball whipped in. But again, a man down, and certainly Charleston having an opportunity to defend with an extra player.
And as we said earlier, the energy and the effort has been there from the Hammerheads tonight. And now you're starting to see in the last few minutes here down a man, maybe the effects of some of that work rate that they've put out.
Well, you see it several times that the night is not over when you go a man down, and you do see goals scored. So the push can still be there. We've seen it many times before that you can score a goal even being a man down, and this contest only being one away, and that's a good through ball. Well defended by Ashani Fairclough.
Fairclaw's done well tonight, made some timely challenges, just kind of last-ditch defending there right when he needed to.
So we'll see another substitution here by Charleston.
That was Guerra going off. That'll be their third and final change.
So certainly some time going to be added to this contest. Wilmington trying to make a last-ditch effort to equalize. This here's Corbaz. Shot going to be taken in over the bar in dipping fashion, but well over. And you see Sean Ferguson with a big clap rewarding or encouraging his defenders to finish this match as they are a man up. As Liam Miller taking an early exit.
Yeah, this is the point in the game. If you're Charleston, you know, you've got what you want. You came for all 3 points. You know, you want to hold on to it. So it's very important, especially being up a man, that you don't do anything silly or careless to give this game away here.
Big Bruno Peroni and Kudus Lawal up front, a good ball, but unable to find the streaking Martz, Austin Martz up front. And Mark Briggs screaming at the linesman, thinking that the ball was out of bounds. And I know that man all too well. He's certainly frustrated. He's been frustrated with, he feels some calls that he's received on the road, but now at home. And
that's Martz going off.
Yeah, Martz being replaced by Kyle Parker, another forward, to try to give a little energy and life in the waning moments of this contest. 1-goal games seem to be the norm here for Wilmington this season. Big clearance by Fairclaw. First touches of Parker.
Players are looking for a ball.
And we start up again as Carbaz. This could be trouble here. It's numbers for Charleston, some well defended. And
yeah, good tracking back there by Parker just into the game.
The other way, yeah. You almost want to see Hackshaw play the ball quicker there. And there's a foul from behind, and
yeah, no, definitely like trouble was brewing there for the Hammerheads in the last one, but unfortunately, or fortunately for them, Charleston just couldn't find the right pass.
And there's a little short free kick played, and Carbaz's ball into the box and not cleared out of danger yet. Ball's going to be just over and out of the outstrips. Whereas the fans think that it's in, but goal kick, the fans thinks it's a goal, but it hit the upper part of the netting, and of course our fans thinking that it.
Yeah, anytime you see the net rattle, everybody in the stands gets excited, but fortunately not to be for the Hammerheads. Good effort there by Parker, just over the top of the crossbar there.
And we start again, and time has been added on. Partner, here's our early call. What is the answer?
3 minutes. I stand corrected, Chris. Well played, sir. Well done.
I tell you what, it's not that I have communication with the fourth official there, but that's the highlight of my night is being able to predict and guess the amount of time added on, and I should have put some money on it there, partner.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my wife will tell you I'm definitely never been one to get things right, so well done. Kudos to you.
So 3 extra minutes. And down goes, and this could be a little time. He's thinking referee's helping him up. Said he caught an elbow, and Adate just getting a little flick, but Adate embellishing. There's a long throw into the box. Header going to be taken. Not out of trouble shot, going to be way off the mark.
Sliced across that one. Not the connection he was looking for at all there.
Shot, and certainly we're going to see Odisnell Cooper taking his time, and it looks as if this could be it for this contest. Ball will come into play, and we wait for Gonzalez's whistle. Missed kick there by Cooper, and an offsides. Strange series of plays having to see an offsides off a goal kick like that.
Yeah, no, you know, we're talking about earlier if you're Charleston, just not doing anything careless or lazy, and that exactly what we saw there.
And a big ball by Schmitz. Everyone should be forward at this point. You either get a goal to equalize or you go down 2-0. And a big clearance, but ball staff.
Looks like we got about 1 minute left here on our clock here. Shot turned away.
Fans asking for a handball there. And we'll see what Schmitz can do to dump the ball deep into the box. Kudus Lawal able to, there's a flick on. Series of headers. Not out of danger yet, and we'll see one more little flurry. And
this may be last chance here for the Hammerheads.
And again, everyone should be into the box here. And a foul throw is going to be called on the far side, as the referee is saying that Peebo Adui lifted his foot. I don't know, man. I mean yeah, at this level,
that can't
whether he did or not, I mean, it's, you know.
Yeah, hate to see that.
And here's the final whistle there as Gonzalez puts this to an end. And in all fairness, probably not one of his better nights, but needless to say here, the final match, the Wilmington Hammerheads hosting the Charleston Battery. Charleston Battery moving to 5-2-3, 2 losses and 3 ties, so that picking up of 3 points is 18 on the season for them. Wilmington Hammerheads staying at 2 wins, 4 losses, and 3 ties, and they're on the end of a 1-goal decision again. Story of the season, frustrating, not quite good enough. Mark Briggs is out there talking the referees to now, having his words. I'd have to say I'm in agreement. It wasn't the best performance by this crew tonight, but again, not our position to say. A 33rd minute goal by Sean Ferguson off a corner kick by Rick Garbanzo is all that it needed to be, with a goal for Charleston, moving them into a first place spot, as at least for now, depending on other games tonight. That concludes what we have in store for you tonight. A few last words on this contest here tonight, Jamie.
Yeah, no, soccer's not always a fair game, and you know the Hammerheads probably feel a little hard luck tonight by the referee and maybe by some of their play. But you know, at the end of the day, it's about getting 3 points, and you know, this will be a result that, you know, hopefully they can bounce back from.
So that's our contest this evening. Again, a 1-0 Charleston Battery win. We want to thank all of our listeners that have been here for Wilmington Hammerheads FC TV on YouTube. For Turbo Sports, for Jamie Noble, I'm Chris Liebert. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.